Got a little Nina Simone playing in the background. Going a little different style this time, this week. Change it up for number 105. What do you think? Feeling a little bitter this evening? Well, that's good, because we're going to be drinking a lot of bitter stuff tonight. But we're going to be doing it in a good, fun way. So let's have some fun and drink some amaris and learn a little bit about amaris. And hopefully I don't lead you too wrong. We'll find out. We picked up a couple of new Amaros, Amari. I guess we picked up a couple, therefore they're Amari, just the other day at Ace Beverage. And it seemed like a fitting thing to do. Now, we will not be looking at some of the typical Amaros that we have, Amari, that we have used in the past. So tonight there will be no Aperol. Tonight there will be no Campari. And earlier today there was Montenegro, and there will be just a tinge of Montenegro, but there will not be a Montenegro-based cocktail this evening.
Colleen
Hey,
and
Colleen.
Greg.
Hey, Colleen. Hey, Greg. Hope you guys are having fun. This, I don't know if this will be an interesting one or not, but we're going to change up the usual format of doing multiple cocktails. And we're only going to do one cocktail this evening, but we're going to do it a lot of times. And we'll see how things go. Fortunately, Amari are generally lower proof, so I don't think we'll have too much of a problem with that. But before we do anything else, we have to toast, right? And when we toast to good things, we toast to bad things, we toast to things. While we were at Ace, we had to pick up another Hamden. So Hamden is a distillery in Jamaica, and they do really, 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 really funky rums, really high ester counts. This is a combination of multiple stills. Each one of the rums in this bottle has been aged at least 8 years on site at Hamden in Jamaica. So this is definitely tropical aging. They say on the bottle that's the equivalent of like 25 years worth of aging. I'm not sure if that's necessarily accurate, but it is a much longer aging time than 8 years would normally seem like, yep. I guess. This is one of my favorite Jamaican rums, or Jamaican distilleries.
Right.
And they used to not sell their own rum. So they used to sell it only to blenders, and some of those blenders were perfume manufacturers and that sort of thing. It's really, really high ester rum. And this has got a little bit of age on it, as you can tell, because that's a darker rum than you would expect from...
No coloring.
No coloring, yes. Yeah, there's no coloring in here.
Yeah.
There's no coloring, there's no flavor additives. Let's see, Hamden says... Produced with unique and partly secret methods that have remained unchanged since the 18th century. The result is a distillate with a distinct aromatic profile due in great part to an extremely high level of esters. A definite, unique, and exceptional rum, the result of an assemblage of different marks, all with minimum barrel aging of 8 tropical years. Spring water, natural yeast, 100% pot still tropical aging. This is, so normally, if we were going to do this, we would have opened the bottle, well, we should have opened the bottle earlier and let it breathe a little bit. Fresh bottles like this tend to be a little tight. This is also going to be hot. Yeah. This is coming in, this is an overproof. This is coming in at 60% alcohol.
Okay.
120 proof. That'll be fun. It'll be good. Let's stick a nose in there. Do you have to stick a nose in there? Can you just wave it under your nose?
To Chris getting back on Molly.
Chris is back on Molly. Congratulations. To living a good enough life to where we actually have to find things to be bitter about.
Oh, yeah. To our new bed.
We have a new bed.
We
gave to a new charity. Yep. Fostering children.
Yeah.
Children fostering in Alexandria.
Yeah.
foster kids so we don't have to have them.
Yeah.
That's yeah. So we can have more rum, right?
Right,
That's how that
right,
works. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is it's such different than Worthy Parks knows. Looking at watching the reaction here. Oh, there's a smile. Okay, all right, we're good here.
There is funk.
Wow. Usually on something like this, I would take that first sip, just kind of swirl it around and throw it away and go, I'm not going to get a lot after this. I'm just getting the burn. This is, it's got some burn, obviously, but that is remarkably smooth for 60% alcohol. Wow. Oh. Hun, I have a question to ask.
Yes.
When a cocktail recipe calls for an aged, funky Jamaican rum, is $70 a bottle too much to spend for those cocktails? Oh, man, sucks.
Unless you're making a killer Mai Tai.
All right, okay. So this Hamden comes in the district in the mid-60s, low 70s price range. That is an exceptional rum. It is not the $170 Long Pond that we looked at, or I looked at. I don't think Star did. Or at least not for a moment or two. When she realized there wasn't a price tag on it, it was like, nope, we're not doing that. Oh, okay. So what are we going to do this evening? We're going to do a bunch of rum Monte sours, except that the Monte is going to change. So here's the deal. This is going to be a sour recipe. So there's going to be a sweet component, a sour component, and a spirit component. And that spirit component is going to have a bit of rum and a bunch of Amaro in it, is how this is going to work. So your essential recipe for this is 1/6, that's right, 1/6 of an ounce of some form of syrup, 2-to-1 syrup. We're going to use Demerara syrup. 1 ounce of, and here it gets a little weird, either lemon or lime juice. So the rum sour recipes all call for lime juice. The Amaro sour recipes all call for lemon juice. So, and the original rum Monte sour actually calls for lemon juice. So what I did is I just straight up did a lemon-lime combination. Roughly equal portions, maybe a little heavier on the lime. And that's what we're going to use this evening. Then a 1/2 ounce of rum. You want something here that isn't going to detract from the Amaro, but still gives you some rum flavors, some backbone. So we're going to use the Doorly's 12-year right here. Doorly's, named after, our cat is named after this bottling, this brand of rum. It's not named after the distiller.
He says Chris on Molly sounds like a drug reference.
You know, for Chris, it kind of is, actually. For Chris and David, it kind of is a drug reference. Well, hello, Dorley. Yes, we are not going to use this Dorley because she's not old enough yet. No, she's only a year old. You know, we have to wait till she's 12 before we can use her in a cocktail.
Got a pretty purple collar now.
She does. We got new collars for the kitties, and they have their names on them and phone number, and they're different colors for each one so that we can tell them apart. There's your Dorley. Yeah, I know. I should probably wash my hands, but it's just Star and I here, so deal with it. What else goes into this drink? So 1/2 ounce of rum, we're using the Dorley's 12-year, and then 1.5 ounces in the original cocktail of Montenegro. Montenegro is an Italian Amaro. Looks like this, and we've gone through a lot of Montenegro in the time that we've been here. We also did one of these. We did the rum Monte sour earlier today, just to make sure that we were okay with doing this style of cocktail. So we are not going to do a rum Monte sour. We are going to sub out the Amaro and not change anything else, just sub out the Amaro for these different other Amaris. And here are the 2 new ones that we've never tasted before. They're not even open yet. So that's what we're going to be doing this evening. I thought it would be worthwhile to save myself a little bit of time, and I batched the syrup, the lemon lime juice, and the rum all together. So I didn't have to do, so that's all here in a bottle that I've now labeled base bitters. Just, which really isn't bitter. This is the non-bitter component of this cocktail.
The charity?
The charity, yes.
The Fund for Alexandria's Child.
The Fund for Alexandria's Child. Not the fun, the fund.
Right.
Fund for Alexandria's Child. Which helps with fostering children.
Do you want me to?
Star is going to explain the charity. It's just my job to show up and throw money at them.
Right.
I think that's pretty much it. Our friend Jillian put it on.
So yeah, our friend Jillian, our favorite real estate agent,
Mhm.
had a event, charity fundraiser event thing.
Event.
And
Dun, dun, dun.
we had some barbecue and we had some champagne and lots of fun was had. And they did a raffle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They did a 50-50 raffle, which if you're familiar with those.
Which I was not.
He was not. You donate
Whatever you
X
donate.
amount and then the winner gets half and the other half goes to charity.
Right. So whatever the total sum of the pot is, half of that goes to the charity, half of that goes to the winner.
Right.
Yep.
We were the winners.
We were the lucky winners
Yeah.
somehow.
And so we gave half of our half
That's right. We
back
did.
to the
We did.
charity.
We
So the charity got 75% of the total. So
And we went out and we bought some more rums and a couple of new Amaros.
and some board games.
And so, in my defense, we spent more on board games than we did on alcohol.
We
that
did.
day.
It was shocking. It was
I
shocking.
bought Magic the Gathering stuff. And I didn't buy singles either because that would be way too easy.
Right. We went to Ace in the district,
Mhm.
and in the $20 to $90 range, which is where we tend to buy. There were a few rums we didn't have.
Yeah,
that
we
wanted.
have considerable of that
Yeah.
price range.
Yeah.
So take another sip of that. Then you should have a sip of this water here. So good, eh?
Uh-huh.
So good. So good. Sweet Caroline. Got it? Yep.
Mhm.
Now take a sip of that. That's Montenegro. Straight up Amaro Montenegro.
That's sweet.
But there's a little bitter tinge at the end. So what are
I'm not used to Amaro Montenegro tasting sweet at all. So
her palate has changed. So what is an Amaro? So Amaros were, they can trace their history back thousands of years. The first known bottled Amaros are coming out of Italy, and Italy tends to be the predominant place where you find them. So Amaros essentially are alcohol of some sort, right? Something to leach out the flavors and create an infusion. Some form of citrus, some sort of peels and that sort of thing of citrus, and some bittering agents, gentian root, wormwood, all of those sorts of things can go into it. And then there might be like herbal or floral components to it as well. And then these things are bottled. Now, how do the Italians drink them, or the Europeans in general? They tend to drink them, well, sometimes they drink them before dinner, but often they drink them after dinner as a digestive aid. And there is truth, supposedly, to the digestive capabilities of these things, because what the body reads the flavor as is, oh, this is bitter, there's this bitterness, oh, warning, warning, this might be poison, and so it starts up the digestive processes to handle whatever weirdness might be going on that you might be putting into your stomach. I don't know how true that is, but I do have sort of anecdotal evidence that, yes, having a little sip of a couple of an Amaro after a big heavy meal does tend to help settle my stomach and make me feel just a little bit better about things. So they're bitter, but they also have some spicy, sweet components to them. Not spicy as in hot, but spicy as in like baking spices and those sorts of things. So the Montenegro, Yeah, there's that cloying, not cloying, the puckering bitter flavor. But the first instinct is like, oh, wow, that's sweet. Oh, wait, what's that bitterness in there? Okay, so that's the Montenegro. We're just going to run down this line and do this to start with. So this is Amaro Nonino, and the Amaro Nonino. Oh, by the way, these guys tend to come in under the 40% mark in terms of alcohol. So under 80 proof, generally. Let's see, the Nonino is somewhere on here. It says 35%. 35%. I had Nonino in an Italian restaurant that sadly no longer exists. And it was quite tasty, and I had to go run right out and buy a bottle. This is how my life is. A lot of times that happens. You'll sometimes see sediment appear in the bottles because, well, they've got stuff in them. And that's fine. You can just shake up the bottle, move that sediment around, get it reincorporated. So, Montenegro, Nonino.
You have.
Very orangey. Very, very orangey. Yes, we have a question. Question?
We have hellos.
We have what?
Hellos.
We have hellos.
Yes.
Okay.
So Colleen was here earlier.
Right.
Amanda.
Which Amanda?
Our gaming Amanda.
Gaming Amanda. Okay.
Elizabeth.
Hello, Elizabeth. Is your husband
Ruth.
joining us from far off lands?
Ruth.
Ruth. Hi,
And
Ruth.
Gwen.
Hi, Gwen from far off California.
Yeah. So what's the next one to taste?
So this one.
Uh-huh.
So that is the Nonino. Very different from the Montenegro.
Mm. So
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like the edges
Mm-hmm.
of licorice, but
Really?
not the taste of licorice.
On the
It's like-
Nonino.
Yeah, it's like
Let me see that.
there's,
Let me see what you're talking about, Lois.
it's like almost the aftertaste of black licorice, but not the strong anise.
Okay. All right. No, I can see that. That I think it's a mouth, not a mouthfeel. It's an astringency.
Yeah. Okay.
That,
Okay.
right? It's not really a flavor profile. It's what it's doing to your tongue and mouth.
That could be.
Right?
That could be.
Try that. This you've had before.
Which is this one?
This is the Gran Classico.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to move these off of here so that you can. No, I'm not. Oh yeah, I can do. I can move them over here.
Oh, that's good. There is definitely bitter in that, though.
Yes. Yes. It has more of that astringency. So far, we're going, we're climbing in astringency.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if that'll hold.
Right.
I have no idea what these guys are.
Do you want to put? Oh, okay.
By the way, so the Nonino was 33%. The Gran Classico is 28%. The next one is the Sfumato, Rabarbaro.
Rabarbaro.
This is coming in at 20%, and as I recall, this is actually made with rhubarb.
Yes.
But it's a different kind of rhubarb. It's a different kind of rhubarb.
Right.
It's a different kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
But I saw rhubarb and had to buy it for him because he likes
Yeah.
rhubarb.
And it's got a reddish hue to it that is very different from the others. So here is all of the previous three, the Gran Classico, the Nonino, and the Montenegro, in the glass look very similar to each other. There's a definite reddish hint to the Sfumato. Sfumato?
The rhubarby one.
The rhubarby one. This is more vegetal, more leafy, kind of herbal. Yeah, I don't think you'll like that one.
I remember I didn't like it the first time, so.
Yeah, see, there's the bitter, right? There's that bitter. There's why there's water here. That astringency you associate with licorice, really strong. And some menthol.
Yes.
It reminds me a little bit of Fernet Branca.
Okay.
Fernet Branca, also an Amaro, also not appearing in tonight's lineup because an ounce and a half of Fernet Branca. No. That would, I got it.
Technically, Jägermeister is one as well, but that's not appearing either.
We have some.
Yeah, but it's one that got oddly popular.
Yeah. There were...
completely different marketing.
Yeah, they had the drink fountains.
Yeah, coolers.
No, in New Orleans, bars.
Oh, right.
Had Jaeger on draft. And
yes.
I'm like, what? I don't understand. Here, stick your head under this spout and we'll pour Jaeger down it. I'm like, ugh.
This is all local DC.
This is Siren, which is their traditional, and I don't remember what the percentage on this is. So this is coming from Don Ciccio Figli, which is local DC distillery, comes in at 29%. Right? So again, all of these are coming in lower than what you would normally drink alcohol at, which is usually about 40%, 43%.
Now we're back to I like it more.
Sweet, but with a little astringency at the end.
Sweet with astringency at the end. Much more like...
Really? See, that has a much more bitey, bitter bark flavor to it that I don't like.
Oh, okay.
I would rather have the...
No.
Yeah, that's tree bark.
Really?
Yeah, I get tree bark off of that. It's not to say it's not good, and it works really well in some of the drinks that we do.
I like it better.
I would use the Rabarbaro instead of that.
Okay.
Unless I'm doing something where I really want that particular flavor. Okay, the new ones.
So, Stracci Pizza in Del Rey.
Stracci.
Yeah, so it's like my prior last name and my new last name put together.
So we had to eat there.
We had to eat there.
Yeah.
It is a lot of the employees that were at Vermilion are now at this pizza place.
Uh-huh.
And the first time we went, they gave us an Amaro, but we didn't remember which of these two Amaros it was, so we bought them both.
Right. Could I have some more water in there?
We can.
The Amaros, by the way, are not particularly expensive.
No, they were like 25.
I think they were under, both of them were under 25.
Yeah.
I think they were like 22, 21, 22, somewhere in that vicinity. So not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the Pasubio. This is a wine-based Amaro, and it is coming from... Erdosteria? I do not know this location. No, it's near Trentino. Okay, whatever. 17% alcohol, so very, very low alcohol.
And this is one with blueberries.
Okay. That has that blueberry flavor to it.
Yeah.
Wow, the bark on the Siren is really getting to me. Oh, you can tell this is... Yeah. This almost has a vermouth flavor.
You'll find notes of blueberries, pine, and smoke, together with bitter alpine herbs. That's got the almost cloyingly sweet mixed with the bitter.
This reminds me of...
I think balances really nicely.
This reminds me of some sherries. That raisiny flavor. I could easily float this on top of any of the drinks that call for a float of port or sherry on top. And that'd be fine.
I like that one.
All right, we got one more.
That is not the one we had the first time.
No. I don't know if this one is either. This is the Amaro CioCiaro. This is... It does not say, without looking more closely, where this is actually from. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it says somewhere. You don't care. You guys don't care. You can look it up yourself. I have no idea what this is going to taste like. well, I mean, I have sort of an idea because it's going to taste like an Amaro.
Right.
But these are all very distinctive Amaros.
Yeah.
You would not confuse really any of these for one another. Much darker. Much darker.
Much darker.
So we've been getting sort of darker.
Mm-hmm.
Switch those two,
Yeah.
right? Oh. Okay, stick your nose in there. Sniff that. Call me crazy. Are you getting root beer off of that?
Yes.
Sarsaparilla Amaro.
That is the one. That is the one we had the first time. That is very smooth.
Oh, that was so good. Oh,
That is
that does taste like alcoholic root beer.
It does. Like a root beer
or a birch beer or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yummy.
that's quite lovely. I'm gonna stick an ice cube, drink some of that for an evening. Be perfectly wonderful. Okay, so we've gone through those. Relative.
Now we'll catch up on comments.
Now we're gonna catch up on comments. We have wow, that was almost half an hour. Woohoo! Okay, so we got to get moving on these cocktails and see what we're gonna do here. All right, so these are
okay. So Elizabeth's boy is not. I'm sorry, fiance.
Fiance.
Stream is not working.
Oh.
Keith had to run away.
Right.
Amanda wants a moniker. What is her moniker? Is it Padawan Amanda? Is it she who has no gallbladder, Amanda?
She who has no gallbladder.
Elizabeth's comment for the frat boys. I assume that's about Jaeger.
Jaeger.
Yeah. And Amanda, is sarsaparilla to take on sassafras one of the ingredients for root beer?
Sassafras can be an ingredient in root beer, I believe. I am not a root beer aficionado expert. Obviously, sassafras is a common component in sarsaparilla, where it takes its name. That sort of bark component is a lot of what flavors all of these Amaros. So maybe it's not the same things that would be flavoring root beer, but certainly very, very similar. Okay, I have not done the math to know exactly how many ounces of the base component I need here. So what we're going to do is we are going to pretend. So here we go. 1/6 of an ounce of syrup, of the Demerara syrup, right? Okay, so there's a 1/6 of an ounce. Okay, then we need 1 ounce of lemon lime. Right? Okay, so we're going to do 1 ounce of lemon lime. Right? And then we need a 1/2 ounce of rum. All of these components are in this bottle, right? Okay. So then we go 1/2 ounce by the transitive power. There's a 1/2 ounce of rum. And so we come in, what is that? Right over, yeah, it's a 1/6 of an ounce over 1.5 ounces. Okay. All right, silly me. So that's really like just a fat 1.5 ounces is what that is. Okay, fair enough. That's easy enough to do. Okay, what are we going to do? We are going to put that in here. And then we're going to do the same thing. This is also sour, which means we're going to be shaking with egg whites. So your probability of seeing me get drink all over me has gone drastically up tonight. Okay, here, fat 1.5 ounces. Now we already did this drink earlier today with the Montenegro, so we're not going to use the Montenegro. So here we go. The first up in the comparison is Nonino. So we're going to go 1.5 ounces of Nonino. 1.5 ounces of Nonino on the left. And then we are going to go 1.5 ounces of Gran Classico on the right. Music this evening is brought to you by a Pandora Shuffle. It is my classic tiki stations with Arthur Lyman and various other members of the Exotica brand, and then the addition of a custom Nina Simone station. So I thought the Nina Simone would just add an appropriate component for this evening. Okay, next up, we need 1/2 ounce of egg white. And here is some egg whites that I made up earlier today. If you're going to be doing a lot of sours, you probably want to just do something like this. Yep. There's 1/2 ounce. And there's gotta be a little careful because they tend to stick together, and you can get very easily. You can go over. All right. So now we're going to do things backwards from a usual sour. Normally with a usual sour, you do a dry shake, and then you add ice, and then you go to it. We're not going to do that. We're going to add ice first. We're going to do what's called a reverse dry shake. Break up some ice here. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cubes. 9 cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 cubes. All right. You like it when I get all technical and stuff and do these controls, don't you? Keith's missing out, unfortunately. All right. So we're going to be dangerous here, and we're going to shake these. I'm going to shake both of them at the same time. These guys should be fine. There should be enough coldness in here to keep them together. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Now, if you are doing a sour, you want that egg foam to whip up really, really nicely. And you kind of get that if you just do the strong arm approach here like we just did. Shake, shake, shake. But you get a better approach if what you do is you do, after this, a dry shake. So here, I do that. Toss the ice. Put some there. We're going to do the same thing over here. I know I'm going to get a little cross-contamination using the same strainer. Don't think that's going to matter a whole lot. There's that one. So now we're going to do a dry shake. And in order to do the dry shake, I want to use 2 hands for it because otherwise this will come apart on me. And I really don't want that to happen.
So
by the way, last week I mentioned that I managed to do something to my shoulder, and it's really wonky and irritating me. And it's still doing that this week, but, I don't care. I'm doing this for you guys. Right? Yep. Okay. I need a double strainer. We take this one. Here is our Nonino. Excellent. Oh, lots of good foam on that. Oh my goodness. We got something on the side of the glass. We'll pull that out. Okay, let me rinse these off. This is where having a bar back would be, really handy.
let me list out all the.
No, I'm not yelling at my wife for not being my bar back. I'm just saying if we had folks over, I could have drafted somebody into being a bar back. All right, that goes in. Lid that up. Here we go. Okay, among other things, doing the reverse shake, I believe gets you a larger, more foamy head on your cocktail, which I think is wonderful. But B, because you are already cold, there is much less chance of you actually blowing your shaker apart as you're shaking it and getting everything all over the place. Use the strainer. There we go. Thank you. And then we'll do this. For those of you that are going, ooh, yuck, egg whites, or for whatever dietary reason, either don't want to or can't use egg whites, there are a number of other solutions. The most common one is probably aquafaba, which is the juice liquid that is left in a can of garbanzo or chickpeas. Right? It foams up as well, not as well, but it does foam up. Yes. All right.
The other one is the Fee Brothers.
Fee Brothers have a liquid egg foam. This is their Fee Foam, a non-egg alternative for shaken drinks. I have not.
You did a prior episode where we compared them,
and it was not as good. But if what you want is to not have egg whites in your life, it might be a good alternative. All right, we are right where we want to be. These egg foams are stable at this point.
Okay.
So Nonino, Gran Classico.
Okay.
So I shall taste. You want to taste?
Sure.
You want to taste first? All right. She's going to taste the Nonino. I'll taste the Gran Classico. And then we will switch.
The citrus almost overpowers.
Okay. What did I do?
Much better balance.
Yep. The bitterness of the Gran Classico comes through a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those, I think. But no, I think the Montenegro is better than the Nonino.
I think so.
For this cocktail. So
right.
This is, we've gone through and we quite liked the Nonino and we quite liked several of the others.
Yeah.
This is which cocktail?
Right.
Okay.
Because of those two, I think I like the Nonino
better. Just a straight, right? So we're going to go this. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to mark the Gran Classico just slightly forward. You can't see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to put the sours up here in line.
Right.
Okay.
You should put the bottle. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, you're doing
right.
the bottle.
I'm doing it in bottle
Got
water. Yep. Okay. So next up, we're going to go the Sfumato versus the Amaro Siren. How's that sound? Sounds good to me. I don't know what their problem is. All right, so we need 2 more of those glasses. Oh, I was originally thinking of just doing rinse, repeat those glasses, but that's not going to work. I could switch to coupes.
Amanda says that's a big head.
It is. It is. I've been told I have one. I can make one out of my cocktails too. Proven that. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. Base bitters. A fat 1.5 ounces. There we go. Yep. As I'm staring at, where am I pouring this again? Oh, right, in the non-existent plastic containers that are in front of me. Or not in front of me, as the case may be. Okay, so that goes in there. We do the same thing. Get that right, but there we go. Okay. There's that. Now, Sfumato. Which one is the Sfumato? Sfumato is here. So let's go borrow that. And this one right on the 1.5. Okay, so that goes away. How we doing? Are you bored yet watching me just pour drinks? No, please pour more drinks. Okay. Ah, where's my water? That. Really, really need one of those like little spigot things where I can just turn it up and rinse out my shot glass or whatever. That would be great. That would be awesome. Need 1.5 ounces of the Siren. I really think the Siren and the Sfumato are pretty darn close to one another. I mean, they're obviously different, but they are more alike than any of the rest of them on the in the panel. Okay, so that goes there. And then we need 1/2 ounce egg white. Oh, there's that problem with egg whites. There. 1/2 ounce. And 1/2 ounce.
I want to know if you missed the syrup or is it in the base bitters?
The syrup is in the base bitters. So the syrup, the lemon and lime juice, and the rum is all in here. Yep. I knew I was going to be making a lot of these, so I wanted to make sure that I could do it reasonably quickly. I know it doesn't seem like this is reasonably quickly, but it is for me. Okay, we need 9 ice cubes. All right. So there's 1, 8, 9. There we go. Good, good, good. Lid them up and shake them away. There we go. Turn that over. Turn that over. Lock those in. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. Yes, I could have done them all in these small snifters, but I'd have to reach back here in my bar, and it would be hard to do to get those glasses out, so I'm just not going to do that. Okay, you back in there. Oh, much different color. Okay, that's a Sfumato. And oof, little stuck, little stuckies. And here's the Siren, roughly the same color. Right, where's my ball? Where's my ball? So this is just one of those balls that you can get from, I don't know, health food stores doing like protein shake things. Yep. Like that. That goes in the sink. These guys come over here. Oh, getting a workout this evening. All right, folks. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Here. I need a ball. Goes in here, lid that up, shaky shakies. Yeah, if my masseuse is watching, she's going to rip me a new one for what I'm doing to my right shoulder. Like, after we did all that work on it, and you're just tearing it apart again. Yeah. Sorry. I'm going to pay for it tomorrow. And there we go. 1 Sfumato and 1 Siren. Next up, tasting these. All right, once again, if we're doing this right with the egg foams, your egg foam should be largely stable. Isn't that impressive? I'm pretty happy with that. Right. So, Sfumato. This is a rum Sfumato sour. Rum Sufi? Rum Barbaro sour? I don't know. It's not a rum Monte anymore.
This will be interesting because I don't care for this Amaro.
Right.
It's better in the sour, but I still don't care for it. I don't actually care for either of those in this drink. I'm still going with the.
You're going with the Gran
Classico.
Classico. I think Sfumato takes this one over too much.
Okay.
This is really intriguing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I like what it does and its flavor profile. I'm not sure I'd want a lot of it though. Certainly, if I ordered this off a menu, I'd be okay with it.
Right.
I'd be happy with it. Going, oh, this is interesting. What does this do? But I would not order a second one.
And that's the Don Ciccio.
This is the Don Ciccio Siren. Another note here is that in most cases, when you're making a sour, you will dot the top of these with some bitters of some sort, and maybe draw a fancy design on them or something along those lines. I'd be really cautious about doing that if you're making this kind of sour, because you already have a pretty powerful bitter component in your cocktail. So yeah, I'd be cautious about doing that. Okay, I think if I've done it right, we're down to the last two. But I need to rinse these out. Here we go. We are going to go with the Pasubio. Oops, Pasubio is on the left. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you add the Amaro or the base first. In case you're like, wait, no, you can't do that. Yes, I can. Right? I just can. All right, so here we go. We're going to go. This is probably actually a bad idea because the base is by far the cheaper component of this. So probably shouldn't do this in case I mess something up, but I'll be fine. And then an ounce and a half of what apparently is our new favorite sipping Amaro, the CioCiaro. Okay. Comes with a pour cap, which normally I hate, but it's all right. CioCiaro. Right, that goes there. And then we're going to add our base. And we're really hoping I made enough of the base. It should come in right at where we need. There's fat ounce and a half. And fat ounce and a half. There's a little tiny bit left in there, but I'm not going to worry about that. That goes there. This guy gets to go here. All right. We need the half ounce egg white. Right. Am I doing this all right? You all following? Same cocktail. Same cocktail. Wow, I'm really amazed at how well those egg foams are holding up. I rarely get my egg foams to do that well. Oh, and look, there's going to be a little egg white left for the morning breakfast. Not much. Okay, so this goes away, that goes away. Those are fine. I'm going to have a little sip of rum here. I was right in my estimation, even not using a funky rum. That would have been bad. This would have been bad. We have things to talk about that I haven't talked about at all while I've been making drinks. I've been too focused on these guys. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Look at that. You see why I'd be a bad bartender? How long it's taking me to put all these drinks together? Yeah. Alright. I mean, 6 sours should take no time at all. But I'm taking forever to do this. It's alright. You love me, right? You're willing to stay. That. This. There. You know, if I practiced, I probably could have gotten the speed down a lot faster, but it's all right. Hopefully. And one thing to remember here is that all of these Amaros have different levels of bitterness, different levels of sweetness, and different levels of alcohol in them. So the idea that we could use a single recipe and come up with ideal cocktails for each of these is pretty silly on my part. That's okay. Did I toss the ball in here, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. Because what we're trying to do is get a sense of how the different Amaros work in different, in the same cocktail. Now, you could do some rebalancing of the percentages and that sort of thing for each of these cocktails and probably come up with a more ideal version of each. But certainly, like with the Sfumato, this guy here, the thing is, that's a little overpowering. We might want to have to increase the rum and decrease the Sfumato on that one in order to get a more balanced cocktail. You know, every time I see my doctor and he asks about what kind of physical exercise I'm getting, I'm like, I'm basically a sedentary bum. I don't do nothing. I may have to revise that. I may have to take into consideration the upper body workouts that I do.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. All right. There we go. That is the Pasubio. Next up, CioCiaro. Wait, where's my... Whoops. There's a ball in here somewhere. There it is. So if you don't have one of these little balls, you can also just take the spring, one of these springs, off of one of your hawthorns. Find whichever hawthorn you have that you hate the most, and just rip the spring off of it, and you can drop the spring in there, and it'll have essentially the same effect. Okay. Here we go. Last shaky.
Shaky.
And yeah, that's I've been pretty good about counting and making sure that I'm getting right about the same length of time shaking these. So I think I'm being really pretty consistent on these. There we go. Right there. This looks very much like chocolate milk to me. All right, we got a bunch of egg cream sodas here. No, well, that's not quite right. Okay, on the left we have the Pasubio. On the right, the CioCiaro. The rum Pasubio sour and the rum CioCiaro sour. Gotta tell you, I don't think the rum is doing a whole lot here, aside from elevating this actually into a cocktail with having enough alcohol present to do this. You could use an overproof, but I knew how many we'd be drinking. Star didn't. Berry flavors come through. on the Pasubio. Even though the Pasubio, look, this is the lowest percentage alcohol, right? This is 17%. There's a grapey, berry, almost brandy-esque flavor to that. She really likes that one.
That's my favorite.
And what do we have here?
And the Gran Classico is next.
And this is the CioCiaro.
Right. Which I like the best plain. So interesting.
Oh.
The
Oh, I'm going to disagree. I really like the CioCiaro.
Yeah. I like the CioCiaro on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Much better than I like it in the cocktail.
Right. So, 4-star, we have the Gran Classico.
Mm-hmm.
The Siren.
No.
Yeah.
I liked it a little better.
Of each round.
Oh, of each round, right.
And then you liked the
Right.
Pasubio.
Right. So I need to taste off.
This is your taste off.
Okay.
Right? Just going to start with the one she knows she doesn't like as well. It's just a Siren. See if that has grown on her. Gran Classico.
Gran Classico.
Gran Classico wins. All right. So,
I'll leave it here for your.
All right. So this is the Gran Classico.
Uh-huh. This is
the Pasubio, right?
Right.
Okay.
This is the Siren.
This is the Pasubio, which
Right.
comes up here. So
Right.
this is my CioCiaro.
Right.
And I also liked the
Siren.
Yep.
Uh-huh. And was Gran Classico?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I thought the Gran Classico did better
Yeah.
than the Nonino. Okay. So I'm gonna taste them backwards. So let's do that. Let's do the CioCiaro.
We're all sciencey this evening.
It's really good. The bitter, barky notes aren't present. They're mellowed out by the rest of the cocktail. I think I can even get hints of the rum in here. The caramel of the rum is coming through. I think that might be... Oh, that's going to be hard to beat. That plays well with the rum. Okay. Then we have the Siren. Yep. If you're... I would say if you are going to use the Siren or the Sfumato, oh, wow. On second taste, I like the Sfumato better than the Siren.
Ah.
It mellows out with a little bit of time. Those two Amaros definitely take over their cocktail. The Sfumato is only 20%, so it's barely above the Pasubio. But the Amaro Siren is 29%. Wow. Interesting.
Now, which one is it that we thought had a bit of a root beer taste?
It was the CioCiaro,
Okay.
the last one. Okay, so then the Nonino. No, that's not the Nonino. That's the Gran Classico. I got to say, we're getting an awful lot of separation here. Let's stir this up a little bit. I mean, you want the great big head on it, but you also want the egg protein somewhat incorporated in the cocktail to lend that mouthfeel. Okay, let's try the Nonino. Yeah, no. Gran Classico is better, but there's an off-putting bitterness to it. As it sits, the Sfumato really mellows out. Oh. The Siren's really interesting, but not where I want it to be. Nope, I don't like the Pasubio in this particular formulation. It almost tastes a little bit like vermouth that's gone off to me, just a tad.
Mm.
Okay, so this brings me down to the CioCiaro and the Sfumato, which shocks me that the Sfumato would make such a comeback. So here we go. Sfumato. It's really yummy. CioCiaro. No, it's the CioCiaro.
Okay, so that's your favorite, both plain and in the cocktail.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Of all of these, I think the CioCiaro plays best with the rum.
Okay.
None of these would I return to the bartender.
No, not at all.
Star might return the Sfumato.
No, I just give it to you.
Right. Oh. So there you go. There's that tasting through various Amaros. This creates the opportunity for, if you're one of my listeners and you want to stop by, you're in the local area and want to stop by and taste some Amaro, please feel free. Let us know ahead of time. That'd make it a little easier. Amaros feature in some of the other tiki drinks, like the Jungle Bird and that sort of thing, where you're using either Aperol or Campari. Campari is just a very, very bitter version of this. So having a bunch of Amaros on hand to be able to play with and mess around with. I gotta tell you though, if I wanted like a pre-dinner aperitif, like something to get the digestive juices flowing, I might go with the Pasubio. It's light, make a spritzer out of it maybe, be really tasty, get those digestive juices going, and then at the end of like a really big heavy meal, something like this, the Sfumato or the Siren or the CioCiaro, I think would be really good at like, let's move things along and do something about this, the fact that I have a lot of food to digest. So these
Good question.
These are post-buffet drinks. How's that?
Amanda asks,
if we have buffets anymore, I don't know.
So generally, do recipes call for just Amaro, or do they say a specific Amaro?
Almost always. So the question, if you didn't hear the question is, do recipes call for Amaro, or do they call for a specific Amaro? Almost always, they will call for a specific Amaro. And your primary Amaros that you're going to see called for are Fernet Branca, Aperol, Campari, Averna, I think.
Amaro Montenegro.
Maybe Amaro Montenegro. But those would be the biggies. Cynar. Cynar is another Amaro. We don't have Cynar. We'll pick some up at some point, or somebody will gift us a bottle of Cynar at some point, and we will have that. Okay. So yes, they will almost always specify. And part of the reason for doing that is because these flavors are very different from one another. There are numerous ways of classifying different types of Amaros, and I just didn't find one that looked at all like something I wanted to put in front of you. There are sort of the bark-heavy alpine Amaros, which I think are more like the Sfumato, the CioCiaro, the Siren, all have those sort of alpine-y flavors to them. Think pine cones, but don't think juniper. All of these would work well with gin. This is a very strange one, the Pasubio, because of the Vino, the wine element of this. I think this is a little harder to work with in terms of what kind of cocktails you might want to pair it with. I can't tell right now whether it would be good in a brandy cocktail, or the two would fight over each other. Amaros are often featured in riffs off of classic cocktails. So using Amaro Nonino in a Negroni gets you a white Negroni. Using, I think it's a Verna in a Manhattan instead of the vermouth will get you a black Manhattan. So there's a lot of playing around, particularly on that place with vermouth, where vermouth shows up in a cocktail. You can give it a little more interest with using one of the Amaros. Oh, and by the way, the Amaros don't go bad nearly as fast as vermouth does. Although I may have to pay some close attention to the Amaro Pasubio since it's wine-based and only 17% alcohol. That probably is going in the fridge. Everything else I don't put in the fridge. I hear tell that Don Ciccio Figli says you should store their Amaros in the fridge. I don't. I hope that's not a problem. Wow, there's a lot of cocktails here. We have 6 cocktails. We drank one beforehand. We have some rum to taste, and I have glasses of tastings. Don't worry about it. It's like a quarter ounce of each one of these Amaros sitting here. So we've got some drinking to do and some cleanup to do. So it's probably a good idea for us to say adios and goodbye. Oh, wait, no.
Wait!
The stuff we were going to talk about. Oh my gosh. So while we're sitting here drinking cocktails, let's talk about the things that we were going to talk about. All right. So this is Nonino, Gran Classico, Sfumato. This is the... I'll be able to tell the Pasubio on taste. Pasubio, CioCiaro. There we go. Siren. Okay. So let's talk about stuff, the things we were going to talk about. Well, first of all, at the fundraiser, right, at the charity fundraiser, there was a caricature artist. And so now we have caricatures of both Star and myself that we're going to have to find frames for and put up, because I think you'll agree these need to go up on the walls around here. So here is Star's, right? There we go. She's even got the 2 kitties. Look, we've got the tiki torch, and she's swirling around an umbrella drink in one hand, and then she's got the 2 kitties down here, like playing with her. And just so that we don't violate any licensing, that is not actually Eeyore on her shirt. Yep, that right. It's a donkey-esque thing. And then we have me. This is the pooch, right? So there we go. All right, there's the long hair hanging down. We've got what looks like a martini glass with an umbrella in it, which is kind of funky and probably something I would do. And in the background, you've got the background. Where's the background? This side? No, other side. This side.
The island.
Right? I'm trying to do this backwards,
Yeah.
and right. So there's a little tiki island here with a little palm tree on it, which is pretty awesome. And of course, I was wearing a hat, and she's got some of my pins on the hat and all that sort of good stuff. So yeah, we're totally going to have to do something with these guys. I think you'll agree they're pretty awesome. What else? So when I was in Kentucky, I don't think we talked about this. When I was in Kentucky, I supported one of the local game shops, and we picked up Cultists of Cthulhu, and I finally got Cultists and Cthulhu, and I finally got around to reading the rules for this. And it's a cute little, I think it's maybe half an hour long game. It's sort of, play a card, see if you can make that ritual happen by rolling some dice. It's really cute. So we're going to have to play this at some point. Probably not online, because that would bore you to tears. Amanda, though, hey, come on over, drink some Amaro, play some Cthulhu and Cultists. Speaking of Cthulhu, many months back, last year even, I got this. This is a wooden crate. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's a wooden crate. This is from Mysterious Package Company, and they do really cool things. This is the 3rd mailing that I got from them for this one particular package, and it lays out clues and sets up this riddle and mystery for you, but also includes interesting, and this is a real, it's not like great wood, but this is, it's held in with nails. This is a fairly sizable little crate here. And if you've been to the bar, you'll know that the left-hand side of the bar, as you come down the stairs, There's a variety of different figurines and the like related to the Cthulhu Lovecraftian mythos. Some of those have come from Mysterious Package Company, and I just thought I would, reveal one of them for you. So this guy is coming out of the box for the first time. So uh, here, I'm not sure if you can tell, but there's kind of a wavy green face in this, and there's the tree branches on the back end. This is just very abstract and kind of cool, and shine some light on this in a particular way as you're coming down the stairs, and that might be pretty freaking frightening. Um, and it comes wrapped in this shroud, which I thought was really strange. I haven't investigated all of the the clues and the like. I'm not going to put this over my face, mostly because it's got little bits of straw, but also because I don't want to be confused with a clan member. So that's going to go back in the box. But Mysterious Package Company, they do really awesome stuff. They're high quality. They do really good aging of their products to make it look like stuff is older than it might actually be. It's supported and sponsored by Neil Patrick Harris. So he's a pretty awesome guy. So we just love Mysterious Package Company. So I thought I would share some with you without blowing the entire mystery of the Mysterious Package Company. They have many, many different offerings. And in the month of May, starting in the month of May, they're going to be getting rid of some of their offerings. And the few that they have in inventory, they're going to be starting to sell at really significant discounts. So if you want in on some of the Mysterious Package Company stuff, now's the time to do it. As long as I'm hawking stuff, it would be wise of me to mention that. So last week we used these little glass straws last week. I don't think we actually used any of our straws.
Their website is currently down to catch up on orders.
Okay, so we did not use any straws this evening. We did not use the appropriate straws last time from Surfside Sips, and they are currently backlogged. So they are working on it. But the last time we did this, we got this really cool. Look at this glass float straw. They're making these. This is probably what the backlog is because everybody wants these.
No, he's down at a.
Oh, that's right. He's down at a convention, right? So time is getting away from him. So once the website comes back up, you can order straws from them, hand blown or not hand blown, but extruded glass straws. I think they are blown, aren't they? Yeah they are blown. And you can get a 20% discount by using the promo code Lovecraft, LOVECRAFT. And we get a small kickback from that, in full disclosure. Secondly, I think I did mention these because we did, in fact, use them last time as picks. And we really love Dizzy Diva and all the kinds of bizarro picks that she does. Here's, the winged skull that we used last time. She has the Lego skulls. There's this bumblebee pick that I use every time Star wants a bee's knees cocktail. But she also does larger picks, and we pointed out the toucan pick from last week. Just all sorts of good stuff, and support your local artisans and what they do, because that's just kind of awesome. My incense is from someplace that Star is going to mention to me. Flint Candle Company. I should have a list sitting up here. I do have. There's Surfside Sips right there. But Flint Candle Company produces, and we've been sniffing sandalwood all night long. Right? So it's been actually pretty nice. So I hope you liked this evening. It's a little different format than what we usually do. A lot more.
You have something else on your board.
I have something else on my board, right? Oh, shoot. Oh, so many things. Right. So we talked about Amari. We talked about Mysterious Package Company. We talked the caricatures, Cultus and Cthulhu. Why are we bitter this evening? I didn't mention why we are bitter this evening. Because we've run out of How to Drink. So Greg at How to Drink has been producing How to Drink on a weekly basis at least for 6 years. 6 years. And we discovered him, pretty early on in the COVID. So we've known of Greg and how to drink for about 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. No, the COVID can't have gone on that long. Yes, it has. And we finally caught up. Today was the last 2 episodes. We are now current on how to drink YouTube channel. He has a variety of different channels, and he does other things besides how to drink as well. But we're finally caught up. There's no more Greg.
Well,
oh my gosh!
Until he releases a new one.
Until he releases a new one
or two a week.
Yeah. So it's fine. We love Greg. He doesn't know it, but we do. He has no idea who we are. And the last thing is, I will use them next week. I think that should be the plan. Is we did receive syrups from Lieber & Co., Lieber & Company. And so we have a cola syrup, and I played around with the cola syrup earlier this week, trying to make essentially an old-fashioned that would taste like a rum and coke. And that worked kind of well. I really liked the old-fashioned. It didn't really work out as a rum and coke, but it was a really nice cola syrup with rum drink. And the second is the fig syrup, right? And that's just yummy, yummy. I could sit there and drink that straight and not have a whole lot of problem. The other nice thing about syrups like those is you can just mix them with some tonic water, some soda water, and you have a nice non-alcoholic beverage right there for whatever you want to do. That's probably a nice segue into A, saying goodbye, and B, saying a few words about low ABV cocktails. Remember, these Amaros are, for the most part, well below the 40% mark. Some of them are well below in the 20% or the even 17% mark of alcohol. And so if you're looking for not a mocktail, but a low ABV cocktail, using an Amaro as your base spirit might, in fact, go a long ways. And there's a lot of flavor packed in these guys, and Amaro spritzes are a thing. Aperol spritz, Campari spritz. You do spritz with any of these and be perfectly happy. Okay, maybe not perfectly happy with a Sfumato spritz. That might be a little weird. But you can certainly be happy with most of the results of that. This is Pooch and Star. We are Lovecraft Cocktails, and we're going to sign off for another week after having done now 105 of these episodes. Greg, we're on your tail, man. You've done 2 years of these things. Only got another 4 years to catch up to you. I don't know how that works, but it works somehow in my brain. Here's to drinking. Here's to drinking new things like Amaros. And, things are starting to be more social again. We'd love to see you over here and love to share the bar with you. So come on over, say hi, tell me to make something, and I'll make you something. Adios.